So now that you've sent out the quotes to your various markets, you're going to want to put it into pending, just so you can keep track of the stages. Now in pending, now that you're here, the job is basically to interact with your markets and record that information that you can then relay back to Greg Saunders. So going down, you're going to do that all through the market quotes. So we can see here, there's now 3 quotes for Greg on Aviva, Economical, TD. Those are the markets he went to. You can see Economical has come back with a price. And let's just say we go back to the Aviva quote here. And you've just gotten an email back from Greg Smith. I'll just give it a sec. Greg Smith here. And what's a nice perk is that if we do integrate with your Outlook or your Gmail, BluInsurance does that, all interactions with Greg Smith, or at least related to this policy, will appear in the email section here. So now coming down here, you can start filling in the information that Greg Smith has provided back to you. So maybe he's come back and he say, I can do, let's say $10.50 is my price that I can give per month. And the coverage, let's just say general liability, 3 million, and flood protection, whatever else it is, loss of business protection. Whatever the details of the coverage, you can include it here. And so now maybe your quote due date has come and gone. Now it's time to make a decision. So let's see what that looks like. So let's go back to the policy and go down to my market quotes and say, okay, you can start seeing it and you can start comparing the price. What's even nicer that BluInsurance does, it gives you a nice way to compare the price. It does a lot of the work for you. So by going to this button here, you can simply click this compare quotes button. When you do this, it's automatically going to pull up a summary of your 3 quotes. So Aviva, Economical, TD, you can see the summary of each. So Aviva quoted $10.50 per month, Economical $11.50. TD actually didn't provide a quote. What's nice too is we kind of highlight, hey, this is the cheapest quote. Maybe that's something that you want to look at in green. So let's just say you get back to Greg Saunders, you review this information with him, you go into the details of the coverage and he goes, yeah, let's go with Aviva. So then you can hit win. So now that I've clicked win, let's go back and see what happened to each of the market quotes. So you can see here, Aviva is marked as 1, and then these other 2 policies are actually marked as lost and lost. That automatically happens. What's even nicer, if we go to each, we'll just give them each a second to load, we automatically put in the reason lost. So for example, when we look here, we're going to see that Economical, the reason lost is lost to competition. That's simply because they've provided a price, but we ended up going with someone else. If we flip over to the TD insurance quote, it's lost, and the reason lost is the quote wasn't provided. We never got a price, and that's why the reason it's lost. This becomes very valuable because if you start interacting with these markets, they come to your office, whatever it is, you can have a lot of ammunition to have some really detailed discussions around why you're writing certain policies and why you're not writing more. You can give them information like this, saying like, hey, TD, you didn't provide me a quote last time and you could have won that potentially. So it's really powerful stuff. And that's the flow. So now you've gone through all of that. You've presented the information to Greg Saunders. He either says yes or no. Assuming he said yes, since you've reviewed the quotes with him, you simply say, yep, closed one. You set the date as today, and it'll be highlighted here. And then we can just hit save. And that's it. And now you've closed Greg Saunders' policy from front to end all through BluInsurance.